Hello, folks. This is the Black Reason, and today is manga is Bleach 648. Now, not gonna lie, I'm like 6 days late, and this is kind of bad on my part because in July I made an announcement to become like a jack of all trades kind of YouTube man and just make videos of doing stuff that I like to do, such as manga, lift weights, um, and some other stuff here and there. But it's all good. Now we're just gonna go ahead and get right to it. Bleach 648, the theater suicide scene 2. Now, at the end of the last chapter, the guy was about to use a bankai, and we get a shot of him, and he gets ready, and there's a scene of Ichigo running. I know that's Ichigo because like he was the main character, the guy with the orange hair in the first episodes, and he's still going on. But I'm not sure what he's doing these days. There's a panel of him stopping in his tracks, so he notices something is there, and some guy is hanging on a pole. It's like waving to him like, whoa. So yeah, and Ichigo says, "Yeah, yeah. What happened to Grimjo?" And the man says, "Grimjo, oh, that wild guy with the pompadour. I put him to sleep right over there." And the same guy says, wait, was it that way? I really hate how these streets just get so confusing sometimes." And Ichigo says, "No," the same guy says, "Grimjo lost to you?" And there's a shot of him turning around, and the same guy says, "Oh, come on, don't make everything a match. I really don't like those." And then Ichigo says, "I don't give a damn what you like and what you don't. Answer me." And the same guy says, "I can't, though, but at least I can tell you my name. It's Askin Nak Lavar." So we get the shot of the name. Askin Nak Lavar. And Ichigo goes ahead and gets right to it. He charges at a guy ready to slice him with a sword. That big ass sword. I remember that, I can tell you that. And Lavar is receiving it. And there's a panel of him being dark. I can't remember what the heck. And Ichigo is surprised and was shocked. And Lavar, it has the same thing as well. And the scene changes, and there was this guy saying that what? It's suddenly gotten so much dark and colder. And the same guy says, "No, the temperature hasn't changed, and it didn't get any darker. Maybe he's tripping out." Oh, and the guy was going bankai, and he says that this is what you call getting at chills. And there's a shot, and the scene changes, and I know this girl. This girl's named Orihime. And she says, "I don't see or hear anything, though. Why can't I stop shivering?" And Ichigo says, "This rates you." Oh, Ichigo didn't do anything in the last page. It was the same guy who was about to go bankai. He changed everything around him. And Ichigo says, "Is it you, Yuriku-san?" And the same monster that the guy was fighting, even though that guy was really damaged, he's back in the scene and he starts spinning himself out, I believe. No, the same guy says an illusion. It feels like the skies have darkened. So he's just wondering whether or not it's an illusion. And the guy is wielding two swords and starts to charge towards him. And the same guy says, and then, no, the different guy says, "So you finally show yourself." And the guy who's bloody from some of the attacks, he says, "Sorry for keeping you waiting. By the way, mind giving me some feedback?" And this guy says, "How does the world look to you now?" And there's a question mark in the man's head. He says, "Is it dark, lonely, and perhaps slightly bleak?" And the same guy says, "I see. So this is your power. Indeed, it's true the world around me looks a little darker than before. Your bankai, was it?" And he said, "Bankai it was." He says, "It's definitely darker, but I wouldn't go as far. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's bleak because." And the same guy is flying. He says, "A messenger of God feels no despair." The guy up in the air. And something happens, and this is panel whereas the area that they were on, it looks like the guy slides down through it, I believe. Oh yeah. And then the next panel, a chunk of that building that those two were on was chopped off. Taken off. Everything is falling. And the guy up in the air says, "I don't have any information about your Bankai's abilities, but there's one thing I know for sure." He said that if the wielder of the sword perishes, so will the Bankai. And he has a question mark in the next panel, and it turns out there's blood coming out of him. And oh my god, it turns out that this guy made some sort of circular blast towards him, and a chunk of his body is taken out. And he says, "Wait." No, he says, "What? What is this?" And the same man said, "The first level. Wound sharing hesitation." So apparently the guy was damaged, but he says that the same man who dealt the damage received the damage as well. So yeah, the same man. Now this guy who was using Bankai says the wounds that the enemy gains will appear on my own body as if they were shared. And another circular blast was going towards him, and he's surprised as hell. And the same man said, "Sadly, it's not something you could die from." And he said, "What is all this? What's happening?" And the same man and the guy says, "I told you, it's that Bankai thing." And this man launches another attack called Kaken Yokusu Karamatsu Shinju. Damn it, there's no translation for this shit. And this guy says, "This is for the prologue. Well, on this quality then." He says, "Now in the second level." So some scary shit is about to pop out. And the same man says, "The pillow of shame." Oh, that is really, really intimidating. And the same guy says, "This is a story of a man who's so filled with regret after wounding himself in battle, and the embodiment of his sorrows as he lay on his bed, transformed into an incurable disease." And the same guy who's flying up there and has spots in his body. There's blood coming out of him. And the guy using the bank says, and of course, the third level. The same guy activated Lifeless Abyss. Oh, hell no. This is probably the finisher. And apparently, what the heck? I think they're in the ocean because he just shoved the guy who was up in the air into the ocean. And the guy who was doing it says that for those that have the resolve, I guess it's just you and me then. I know on the water into either of our Reiatsus run out. The same guy, I dragged him into the ocean or sea, and now the chapter ends at that. Alright, that was a good chapter.